Hello, this is Yannis from Any Repair. Today we will go through a MacBook Pro A1502 that came to our lab without a screen display. There was a previous attempt. The previous technician that saw the notebook determined that there was a screen issue. Now, let's go and see how we'll deal with this damage. This is the board. As you can see, it is connected to its screen. The only way to check for display issues is to connect the EDP or LCD cable on the board, because the board checks for if there are requirements in order to produce image or to fulfill the voltage in order for the screen to work. And it cannot detect the screen if there is no screen. So we always connect the screen to check for display issues. Now, we must check for requirements. We firstly want to check if we have the right voltage connected on our power supply. We will check the voltage to be about 19 volts, and after that we will check for voltages with our multimeter, which there are no voltages on this coil that feeds the EDP LCD cable, the display cable. So there's no way for the screen to work without voltage produced. Now, we must go and check for the schematics and board view in order to determine what's the problem. Before we do that, we must check the controlling IC that is feeding the coil in order to feed the cable, the LCD DP cable, and we can see if I touch the resistance, the resistor above the chip in the upper left, we can see we have no power on this resistor. This resistor is the enable signal for this chip, and the pin 1 is the 5 volt, the VCC voltage that is feeding the IC in order to work. And let's see the same thing on the board view. We can see that this resistor is transferring the voltage in order to enable the chip, and the pin 1 is the feeding voltage, the 5 volt voltage that the IC needs in order to work. But it needs also an enable signal, and we must find this enable signal. So we're copying, paste, and search, and we are transferred near the EDP cable. The EDP cable has two ICs that are controlling vital for the screen signals, which are the hot plug detect, the EDP power enable, and you can see all these signals that are controlled by this IC, which contains AND gates that are checking the input voltages in order to transmit or output a command for the screen. And we must find these ICs. We will try to find them on the board, which location is behind the board that we are having on our microscope. So we'll turn the board over to see its opposite side, and you can already see that we are having there water damage. A lot of water damage, maybe a drop, but or two, that have destroyed the connections, maybe the pads, and the ICs. You can see it's heavily corroded. That's what we must fix. This is the first chip. The upper right is the other chip. We have already spotted on the schematics. Now we must clean. We must check. And hopefully we must repair these traces, find these chips, and replace them in order for the screen to work. So we will go and very quickly and clean up with a cotton pad whatever we can clean. I think the most of them are corroded, will break and been thrown away with the airflow. We must remove them all and check for trace damage, pin damage, but I think that will the chips will be thrown away, and all these components here, because they are faulty of course or corroded. You can see the trace damage. We will try to fix. We will apply some fresh solder in order for the wires, the jumper wires, to be soldered. We're cleaning, we're scrubbing. Now we will try to restore whatever is gone from the water. And now on my bottom right, I have the board view in order to check what I am doing. I'm trying to restore the connection between the pins, all the pins, all these highlighted pins should be connected, and they are not, so I'm trying to restore its connection. This will be done with this jumper wire and pad. It's not very easy. It's a very small area to work. I'm testing with the multimeter in order to check if the traces are restored. I'm using another jumper wire to restore the missing pad there. And after all this trace repair, we will do the last. We will solder a wire that will connect the last missing trace. Flux is always a friend, an ally in soldering. We will clean up and check if everything is done. We will apply some UV mask in order to keep the wires in place. We will cure with UV light and after that we will be fine, we will be good in order to solder the IC. What I have done here, because I didn't have a working IC from the donor I owned, so I have fed with the input the output of this IC. These are AND gates, so they are feeding when the time is right, when the signals are right, they are feeding the outputs with their own voltage. So they are sending output 5 volts to the output of this chip. And I have put a wire in order to generate the hot plug detect in the other IC that I have not in my arsenal. So this voltage from the input of the IC will flow and create the missing hot plug detect that should be on in order for the screen to work. Now we will plug our charger and check if all we have done is good. I'm trying to plug. It is plugged. It's heating up. We have no disk, and that's a signal that we want to see in our screen. We are good. The damage has gone. That was the repair as you saw. If you liked this video, consider like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching. See you in another repair. Bye.